Alright, so today we're going to teach you how to play the intro from Piece of My Heart by Big Brother and the Holding Company, otherwise known as Janis Joplin, right? So this intro I really love because it has lots for us guitar players to learn from. It starts out in F sharp minor pentatonic and then it plays some arpeggio from the chords, and it's just a great small example that's not too hard to play for us to learn how to branch out of just playing in minor pentatonic, right? The intro was written by Sam Andrew, who also plays the solo later on, and we are going to explore it in depth, but in this video we're just going to do half of the intro because I want to keep these videos not too long, right? I teach guitar here, we've got lots of things to do, and bite-sized pieces is always the best, I think. Before I ever teach any kind of solo or intro in my lessons, I always say, let's first examine what the chords are in the song, because what a lot of people will do is they'll just look at the tab and they'll start reading numbers, you know, like 4, 2, 5, whatever. And that's okay, but when we just read numbers, we don't necessarily understand how the solo or the intro was written, right? And when we can understand how it was written, we learn so much more, because then we can understand how to write our own kinds of solos and our own kind of intros and improve our own improvising as well, right? So let's have a look here. We're going to go over here and we are going to write down some of the chords and the licks here so that you can see. The very first chord of the song is F sharp minor. Okay, so perfect. And the very first lick is in fact F sharp minor pentatonic in our easy shape. Well, that's great. That's very simple. That is what we typically do, we might say, right? Okay, so together, let's just figure out where is F sharp minor pentatonic. That's easy. F sharp is right there on my bottom string, right? Second fret. And in fact, this lick comes straight out of the standard F sharp minor pentatonic shape. Easy, 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 right? So that's the scale shape that the first lick comes out of, right? So if we play that together, just to make sure you know it. You probably know it. That's the first one we all learned, right? Most of us anyway. So second fret, bottom string, we're gonna go 2, 5, 2, 4, 2, 4, 2, 4, 2, 5, 2, 5. So you can play that with me if you got your guitar in hand. 2, 5, 2, 4, 2, 4, 2, 4, 2, 5, 2, 5. We're backwards. 5, 2, 5, 2, 4, 2, 4, 2, 4, 2, 5, 2. Okay, now let's hear the first lick. It sounds something like this. That's F sharp minor pentatonic. It's all right inside that shape, right? So let's have a look at what that looks like. What he's going to do is he's going to bend this note. I mean, that's the note we bend all the time in minor pentatonic, right? We love that note. So let's look at the rest of that. Bam! Now he does a real quick 4, 2, 4. Ba-da-da. That's a pull-off, hammer on. Right? A little tricky. And then we're going to go. Yeah? Okay, so easy part, right? Now, this is where it's going to get really cool, because now we're going to go up. The next chord in the song is an A chord. And instead of thinking scale, he changes the way he thinks at this moment. He starts thinking chord shape instead. And if we look at this A major bar chord and we look inside this A major bar chord, we can find a little triad. That triad is here, right? So I can draw that here. So that's my F sharp minor. This is where my A chord is going to be. And that triad is right here. Looks like that, 7, 6, 5. Right? If you prefer to see it another way, let's draw it here. I don't know. Let's see. It would look something like this. You can visualize it, right? If that's my 5th fret. That's an A chord. It's a little A chord. We can see how it actually fits. Whoops, don't do that one. We can see how it fits on our standard A bar chord shape. That's our standard A bar chord shape there. And we can see where's the little arpeggio that he's playing is just those 3 notes of that arpeggio, right? Okay, cool. So now let's play those guys. He's gonna go. He's gonna take that last note of that F sharp minor pentatonic lick and slide it up to this arpeggio. So that's cool because why is the do 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 A is the next chord, do 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 do, and now what's the next chord? The next chord is B. And he does the same kind of chord shape, but he doesn't arpeggiate it, he just plays it. So we know if this was A, then 2 frets up, A sharp, B is right there. Right? So that's pretty good. So now we have, let's play from the top of what we have so far. Cool, okay? And you can see already how clever this solo is. He's not just playing F sharp minor pentatonic, which is what a lot of us are taught to do when we take guitar lessons. Well, we're taught that at first, and maybe that makes sense at first because it's, you know, we can only take on so much at once, right? And we learn this basic F sharp minor pentatonic shape. We learn to play it, we learn to make some cool sounds on it, and it is cool, certainly, we love it. But now we can see how when we are aware of the chords underneath at all times, we have a lot more opportunity to do cool things. In this case, outline a chord, the A chord, root, 3rd, 5th, right? Or just strum a little chord, which is what he does on the B, right? Okay, so we have the A, do, 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 do. What did we do? Right. Now we have a B, which is 9, 8, 7. 9, 8, 7. And we hit that quick. Bump, bump. And then there's a little pause. We hit it again. And then we slide 9 up to 11. Because why? The next chord is C sharp minor. And guess what that note is? Well, that's a C sharp, of course, right? So here we go. Here we have the first, I don't know, what is it, 4 bars or so of this intro. If I put that together, we got. And he rings that vibrato out, and he kind of keeps ringing it hard like that. So we could put that back on there, I suppose. Let's put some harsh vibrato here. Yeah. Okay. So now we're going to do the next part, and then we'll answer some questions. So I know someone has asked me, well, when you say root, 3rd, 5th, what's that about? And when you say triad, what's that about? So we'll answer that question, but I just want to finish this first half of the solo to begin with anyway, right? So let's see, what happens after that? the song goes back to a B chord. But instead of playing the chord, as we did just now, or instead of playing this arpeggio, as we did on the A, we're gonna play a different arpeggio. It's just an extended arpeggio. It just has an extra note and it goes. So he goes root, third, whoops, like that, right? So let's look, that's ding. Back to there, right? That's my B arpeggio. Okay? Cool. Now we're gonna do another arpeggio. This is a D chord. But again, we can see the same shapes happening all the time. When you play this arpeggio, which from the D string is going to be 12, 11, 10, again, you can see that's the same shape here, right? But now we're going to extend this a little bit again. This is an F sharp. It's just part of a D chord again. It's nothing that different, right? And then he's going to slide that up to A, which is way up here at 17. And I think he plays that twice. So that one's a little more complicated. Let's play that one a little slower. So I'm on D here. This is D 12th fret of the D string. And I go, that's my triad. Now I'm going to play with my pinky. You're going to reach way up here to this F sharp, which is 14th fret of your high E, and slide it way up to 17, which is A. And those are just all notes of a D chord. D, F sharp, A is a D chord. And so that's all he's doing, right? Okay, so let's review what we have so far. We have and the next part we'll do in the next video, because I want to answer some of your questions, but just so you can hear the next part, it goes something like this. See if I can remember it. Yeah, something like that. And you can see it's yet another very different technique that is really, really useful for us. We want to be good at that as well, right? So we are going to get good at that. Let's answer some of your questions. So one of my students asked, well, when you say root, third, fifth, what does that mean? Or what is a triad? Well, it means kind of the same thing. A triad is just the essence of a chord. Okay, so the triad is, let's go here. You can see here. Let's take an easier key. I like to write things in the key of C. Why? Because key of C has no sharps or flats. So it's simple, right? No sharps or flats. We like that. C, D, E, F, G, A, B. There we go. So if I can, so C is my root, so I'm just going to put a little 1 there, right? Every chord has essentially at least 3 things. It has a root, a third, and a fifth. Well, what does that mean? Well, if C is 1, he's the root. Easy, okay? That's 1, 2, 3. So E is the third, okay? And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. G is the fifth. So a triad, root 3, 5. A C triad would have these notes. C is the root, E is the third, and G is the fifth, right? Pretty easy, really. So that is essentially a triad. Now, we could put them in different order, but in this song, it's actually just those arpeggios are just in this order, root, third, fifth, that A arpeggio. Oh, they're different notes, but whatever. On the guitar, a triad is almost always, well, I shouldn't say almost always going to look like this, but it does always, this is one way, let's put it this way. This is one way to play a triad. If this is your root, this is your third, and this is your fifth. So whatever note this is, that's your triad, right? So if this is, let's say this is 7th fret, 5, 6, 7, that's an A note. So that would be an A triad. And the point is that we can use these triads, we can use them as chords, we can use them as arpeggios in solos, in arrangements. Arpeggio just means that we're playing each note of the chord individually. So rather than strumming the chord, we go boop, 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 right? As we're doing in this song. So there you go, root, third, fifth. You can figure it out for any chord. It gets more complicated when you have sharps or flats. So that's why we just always do it in the key of C first. It just keeps it a little easier. So if you have any other questions about this part, feel free to comment below. I'd be happy to answer any questions in part 2 of this video, which is going to come next, right? And if you like the video, please like, subscribe for me, share it for me. We're going to try to do more of these videos. You know, I'm really busy teaching here in Vancouver, but people keep asking me, Blue, we could do more videos. So here we go. We're going to try. I keep promising this. Let's see if this happens. But yeah, do keep in touch and subscribe with the channel, and we will do part 2 of the Piece of My Heart intro soon. All right. Thanks a lot.